Hey there, I'm Carledo, and today I'll be reviewing the PS3 version of Madden NFL 15. Football! The last copy of Madden I played was 12, and I've played in some tournaments and gone over to friends' houses since then, so I have a little experience in between, but I'm really optimistic for this version. Let's take a look. Upon starting your copy of Madden NFL 15, it's going to forcibly download some game files onto your system. This will help the game play better, but it's still kind of a dickhead move they didn't bother to ask you before doing that. After you wait out that inevitable shitstorm, EA's online services get a shot at delaying you with various signing up and permissions. It seems like the majority of these were optional, so that's not too bad. After that, the game throws you into a series of tutorials and skill drills to help you remember how to football, which is kind of moot because you're playing Madden. To their credit, the drills are very well made and even hint that Madden understands football concepts and will reward you for reading your opponent. You and I both know this is horseshit though. Even during some of the drills where they specifically tell you to aim for pockets of lax defense, you'll get picked off. I eventually gave up on the drills and went to the main menu. After like an hour. It should be noted that throughout this experience, Cam Newton is guiding you through the startup. I am not a fan of Cam Newton, so this was not a plus. Also, he just sort of disappears once the game leaves you to your own devices, which takes entirely too long. All this considered, I can't recommend starting this game up to entertain a room full of drunk people. While the customization it allows is great, it takes fucking forever to get to a good point to actually start a game. The people on the field and in the announcer's box look better than ever, sporting faces and builds of more realistic proportions than in previous iterations. A fun new addition is the EA Sports Game Face, which allows you to put your face into the game. I tried a couple different versions using different photos, and I guess it's kinda close. The eyes will always be in my nightmares, but I suspect this is my fault. Better than the pre-made faces we've been using for the better half of a decade, though. Textures break through each other all too commonly, which is a shame because otherwise you might forget you were actually watching a video game. That said, the crowds are worse than ever. I'm not exaggerating. Splashes of moving unsaturated color do not simulate a crowd of rabid fans. On the other hand, the game does a much better job of pretending to be an actual broadcast game. There's a better variety of dialogue and false cutaways for the commercials that consume actual football. That said, the game can glitch and leave an announcer losing his freaking mind over a very mundane statistic. This can all be ruined by the players who lie on the ground with another player standing in their ribcage like a very bored barbarian, or any of the other various graphics glitches that happen. These out-of-the-box glitches run from amusing to absolutely game-shattering. I have a confession to make. I play Madden on All Pro, not All Madden. The reason for this involves the jump in difficulty and the effect on gameplay. All Pro plays like a weak game of football, while All Madden plays like a difficult game of Madden. It does things that don't happen in football, but rather expects you to break the game with bullshit plays and ignore play action and good common sense football. This has not changed. What has changed is the tackling mechanic. Square is used for hard hits, X is used for safe tackles, and breaking down and shuffling or chopping by holding L2 helps your players square up, you know, like you're supposed to. On the other hand, a friend of mine had mentioned that there was a new camera view that lets you play from the defensive side, much like we've played looking over the offense since 3D gaming became a thing. This camera angle doesn't exist in the PS3 version. Now, I sincerely doubt that the PS3 lacks the computing power for another camera angle. Okay, EA, what the fuck? The momentum mechanics can feel sluggish at times, but occasionally the pileups can almost feel genuine, and running backs feel more like objects with weight and movement than a program. Then there's the moments where you hit a button and it's completely and utterly pointless to assume the game was going to do what you want it to. This is nothing new, but we probably shouldn't just roll over on things like that. Little things have improved all over, but nothing makes the glaring holes we've come to expect disappear. Especially when you play a game with 15-minute quarters, you get your ass stomped, and you go to check your stats at the end, and the game freezes. That was my first experience with Madden NFL 15. That little bitch. In addition to all the content you can make, there's a section to download things others have made. Pessimism about Madden players aside, I suspect you can find some neat playbooks and difficulty sliders here. And some other stuff that is not. Franchise mode is now connected online or offline, for some reason or another. The good news is that saving online no longer seems to be an issue, which I'm sure will be an even greater issue at some point. Whether you're playing as a player, a coach, or an owner, there's plenty to do. The micromanager in me absolutely loves the ability to change the price of concession stand pretzels or which player is getting better at what stat. I'm not sure how I feel about the good-natured racism when moving your team out of the US, but I do know that only giving 3 options for your new team name is properly annoying. As for online interaction, it's an online system in a competitive atmosphere. Don't tell anyone your darkest fears and try not to be too much of a giant prick. I'd have to play a few seasons to give a more solid analysis, but all the off-season and practice components seem to be there. Madden Ultimate Team was in Madden 12, but I never touched it. I feel silly now because it seems like this is the best part of the game, and not for obvious reasons. Madden Ultimate Team is essentially a deck building game using Madden as a base. This seems like a stupid reason to buy a $60 game, but it's genuinely enjoyable playing with your ragtag team and building them with the experience you gain from various challenges. A part of me wishes I could just improve the cards I have instead of replacing them though. That poor 54 overall tight end really tried, and then I just replaced him as soon as I could get someone better from the auction house. Which is a real thing. You can trade, auction, or place cards in sets, which is kinda neat. Alternatively, you can save up coins from your challenges and buy packs of cards. Or, you can be EA's newest slut bunny and pay with real money. Oh, and you can use this team against other people in the same mode. I suspect we'll see an emergence of OP teams in a matter of weeks though. An infinite number of Brett Favres throwing to an infinite number of Jerry Rices. Joy. Madden NFL 15 improves in some areas that needed it, but it's still amazingly unrefined in other aspects. I can't see paying $60 for a game this poorly coordinated at points. The base gameplay still has so many issues that extra features can't make up for. In car terms, Madden has a damn nice cigarette lighter, and the back seats are fucking nice, but the engine knocks and the shocks are completely shot. Not to mention, this company has a reputation for putting out these polished turds, so why would you keep buying? I'll tell you, because they're the only ones, and that's fucking sad. I'm glad I'm just renting this game, because a part of me is genuinely becoming addicted to a game I know I shouldn't even be playing. As a recovering Madden addict, I can't recommend Madden NFL 15 to anybody. Step back from that ledge, my friend.
Ugly when they don't work. It's second down, and you run the running.
Cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in. And if you do not want to see me again, I would understand. I would understand. I would understand.